He just never stops.
From his origins, to his time at Duke, to his brief run in the NBA, and his future, join me as I show you some scary and interesting facts about Zion Williamson.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
Number 11. What exactly are his measurements again?
I mean, we've been hearing all these players losing about an inch off their initial height because of their shoes being on, but I don't think it'll be as big of a deal as we're all making it out to be. I mean, if Draymond Green and PJ Tucker can run the floor effectively at what, 6'4" and 6'5", then Zion will be just fine. But
Named after Mount Zion in Jerusalem, Williamson is certainly a mountain of a man. Listed at 6'7" and 285 pounds, Zion would be the second heaviest player in the NBA, behind only 7 foot 3 inch, 290 pound free agent center Boban Marjanovic. But let's just say that Zion is a little lighter on his feet than the great Boban. His massive size and how he can carry himself is a big reason why the NBA not just wanted him, but wanted him to be a star. There was a time when big men like Dwight Howard, who is still in the league but isn't anywhere near the prominence he once had, Shaq, legend in every way, Bill Russell, Hall of Famer and one of the greatest ever, dominated as big men. But that time has passed, mainly because big men are seen as slow and not always very helpful. But with Zion, he doesn't just have size, he has skill with that size, and that's terrifying to behold. Number 10, from point guard to big man.
When he got to 7th and 8th grade, Zion was about 5'11", probably about 120 pounds. He was taught at that time, because of his size, the point guard skills. Before that summer was over, Zion was 6'4". Before the summer was over.
Believe it or not, Williamson was rarely the largest player on his youth teams, so his parents focused on developing his point guard skills. This extra work on ball handling, passing, and court vision proved beneficial for Williamson, especially after he grew from 5'9" to 6'6" between the 8th and 10th grade. This growth spurt transformed Williamson from an above-average, hardworking player into a once-in-a-generation talent. This is something that happened in its own way to Michael Jordan. Jordan was small going into his freshman year, and then shot up to be a much longer player that helped him at North Carolina. Williamson had grown to 6'3" prior to his freshman season at Spartansburg Day School in Spartansburg, South Carolina. But there was one problem. He still couldn't dunk. So the 14-year-old Williamson spent his summer in the gym, working hours on end to improve his jumping ability. Eventually, it all clicked for Williamson when he tried to throw himself an alley-oop off the backboard. This setup allowed him to clear his mind and finally reach the rim. The rest is history. And that history has been viewed on YouTube many millions of times. Trust us. Number 9, he can really jump.
So, Zion, he was the last one to jump. It's unreal. It honestly is unreal. You can see all the highlight videos from high school, all his dunks. Anything that's impressive, but when you see it in person.
We just talked about his dunking ability, but we would be remiss in not telling you just how successful his jump training was. The legendary leaper jumped too high to have his number recorded. He outjumped a vertical leap test at Duke. After adjusting the bar's height by adding weights under its base, Zion eventually topped out at a Duke record 40-inch max vertical leap. But who knows what he would have posted had the Blue Devils been properly prepared for Zion's first jump. Again, this is a guy who's 6'7", and yet he can jump higher than most guys half his size who are supposed to have large verticals. You almost have to wonder what he can't do. Well, we do know one thing. Number 8, keeping his shoes together.
His shoe blew apart.
A total disaster. The star player's Nike sneaker comes apart just 36 seconds into the big game.
That's unbelievable. He broke his shoe with his own foot.
There were a lot of highlight moments from Zion Williamson's 1 year at Duke University, and the world was waiting for him to lead the Duke Blue Devils against their rivals in the North Carolina Tar Heels. But then, his shoe blew up. Seriously. How could someone's shoe, even Zion's, come apart so easily? No one really knows, but we all saw Zion rip through his Nike Paul George 2.5s pretty smoothly in the opening minutes of the Duke/UNC game. Zion endured a knee injury as a result, leading to Nike's stock plummeting by over $1 billion. Nike immediately took a trip to Durham to craft a custom-made shoe for Zion and right that ship. Think about that for a minute. A college kid's shoe made Nike's stock drop $1 billion because it exploded off of him while he was playing. That is insane. Number 7, the former president was there to watch it happen.
Well, one of the great basketball fans in our country happens to be the former president. Great to see President Obama on hand. The left-hander knows how to knock it down.
Not exactly a scary fact, but former President of the United States, Barack Obama, was there in attendance to watch Zion play against North Carolina. The look on his face when he saw the shoe bust off Zion and him going down with that knee injury pretty much said it all. And you can bet Zion felt bad that the president was there and he couldn't give him his money's worth. Number 6, Nike payoffs?
Duke University says it is looking into allegations involving basketball player Zion Williamson's mother. CBS 17's Todd Gibson joins us now with the story. Gibby?
Attorney Michael Avenatti said he had the goods to shake up college basketball, and today he felt it was time to show his hand.
Nowadays, everyone suspects that the elite college hoopers are involved in receiving financial benefits. Like most top-level prospects, Zion, even more so, was under the microscope. And given that he was destined to go to the NBA, that's not too much of a surprise that people suspected him. Rumors surfaced that Zion had been receiving cash under the table when an attorney named Michael Avenatti accused Zion's mom of taking money for consulting services from Nike that really served as a bribe to get Zion to commit to Duke. While Duke is apparently investigating the matter, many feel it's a false accusation that served as a publicity stunt. Then again, the NCAA has been going through a major rash of scandals involving coaches and players taking bribes and other services as payment for their skills. So nothing is technically off the table here. Number 5, dominance in high school.
And in senior number 12, Zion Williamson!
There's a reason that Zion was a highly anticipated player at both the college and NBA level, because his time in high school playing basketball was insane by many accounts. After a solid freshman season at Spartansburg, Williamson took his game to another level during his final 3 seasons there. He averaged 36.8 points, 13 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game his junior year and scored 51 points in the state title game as he led the Griffins to the second of 3 straight state championships. That alone is an accomplishment to be proud of, but he didn't stop, because it was the highlight dunks during the 2016 to 2017 season to catch the world's attention, making his games must-see events. One particular 360-degree dunk led SportsCenter's top 10 plays on ESPN and propelled the 16-year-old Williamson to stardom on social media. These videos, plus his stats, were what made him a prime drafting recruit and elevated him to superstar status before he ever touched a college court. Number 4, the next LeBron?
For LeBron, showing the young fella. Now he's working on Zion. Go ahead, stop this. Look at this.
Just muscle on muscle, dipping that right shoulder. Nothing Zion Williamson can do at 280 pounds. Still can't stop the shoulder of LeBron James.
If you think these games don't mean a little something extra to LeBron, you're not paying attention.
Because of his superstar status at a young age and his potential as an NBA superstar in the making, many people have not been shy about comparing Zion Williamson to a certain other high school prodigy in the form of LeBron James. The problem, though, is that it's an unfair comparison for 2 reasons. 1, LeBron never played college ball. He came right out of high school to the NBA. 2, they're 2 very different kinds of players. They have different skills, different body types, different styles they invoke, and more. Now sure, if you want to go basic and say that they're 2 players that could transcend the sport, then yeah, that's fair. But to keep it fair all the way around, comparisons between Zion and LeBron should be kept to a minimum. Number 3, best since MJ?
I think Zion, the attention that he's gotten, he's deserved. He's stood up to all the accolades that he got before, and I mean, we tried to recruit him as hard as I've ever recruited anybody.
Fine, we'll keep doing comparisons, but trust me when I say that this one at least comes from a venerated source. Williamson finished his high school career in 2018 as one of the most accomplished prep basketball players in South Carolina history. As noted, he won 3 state championships, scored more than 50 points on numerous occasions, and took home South Carolina's Mr. Basketball honors after his senior season. The hype around Williamson was enough for North Carolina coach Roy Williams to tell Williamson during his junior year that he was, quote, one of the best high school players I've ever seen since Michael Jordan, close quote. That's saying something right there. Roy Williamson is one of the best coaches in the NCAA. He has won championships with a set of different teams. So for him to say that he's the best he's seen since MJ, that's high praise, and some scary pressure if you don't mind us saying. Number 2, his athletic skill is technically genetic.
He looked at me and said, by your junior, senior year, you'll be the #1 player in the country. Okay, like, come on, man, let's be a little realistic, like, come back to reality now. Like, I'm not even ranked yet, I'm on nobody's radar. That growth spurt was just crazy for me because I picked up some weight and some crazy God-given athleticism.
Many wonder where raw athletic talent comes from. And in truth, a lot of it comes from practice and pushing yourself to the limit. However, genetics do help. Zion was born in Salisbury, North Carolina, as the son of Lateef Williamson and Sharonda Sampson. Zion's father was a defensive line committed to North Carolina State before attending Livingston College, where he met Zion's mother, a track star at the school. After Zion's parents divorced, his mother married former Clemson basketball player Lee Anderson, who was instrumental in developing Zion's skills on the court. So as you can see, he not only had the genetic legacy of an athlete, he had the right people training him to be a star. Number 1, borrowed time.
The #1 overall pick, Zion Williamson. He's going to miss the start of the season with a knee injury. He did not fly with the team for their preseason game tonight.
If you wish to know a really scary fact about Zion Williamson, it's that he might be on borrowed time. Not in terms of his life ending, not that, but rather borrowed times in terms of how long he'll be able to play in the NBA. One of the reasons is that big men in the NBA aren't around as much anymore because more of the natural big men don't last or have a history of injury problems. Greg Oden is a great example of this. He was a dominant force in the NCAA for Ohio State, but once he got to the NBA, his body couldn't sustain the pressure and stress of playing the game. Zion, as noted earlier, had hurt himself at college because of the shoe incident. Then, after being drafted, another injury sidelined him until January 2020. Sure, when he finally did debut, he was awesome, but that doesn't mean that injuries won't follow him. To be truly successful, Zion has to work hard to keep himself in peak shape, and the team has to make sure to monitor him, else his career will be fantastic, but short-lived. So what do you think? What do you think about these facts and stats about Zion Williamson? Do you think that he will be the next megastar in the NBA? Or do you think his body will give out on him before he can truly succeed? What do you think are some realistic goals for him in the NBA? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.